who's going to push and push until she gets what she wants. Okay, no problem. Hi, how are we doing? We're here at the House of Medics. A little bit of technicals, but it's fine because we're here. And I hope you're tuned in, I hope you're listening, because today we have a very special session for you where we're going to be speaking to a young lady who, I know we can't, can you hear me now? You can hear me now? You can hear me now, yeah? We're going to be speaking to a young lady who knows about resilience and what it means to push and push and push until you get what you want. So I'm going to introduce my guest today, Theresa.
Hi everyone.
If you'd like to introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's Theresa. I'm 22 years old. I'm a master's degree graduate. I graduated with biomedical science and I'm going in to study medicine now.
Ooh, fancy. First of all, I'm going to start from back. Mm-hmm. So I know you've got a bit of a big family and
Yes.
you're the baby.
Yes.
So what was it, because I call you the baby of the family, because what was it that made you want to go into this direction? Because I know family-wise, some are into fashion, some are into other things.
Yeah, I'm the only non-creative in my whole family.
No, you're creative in your own special way.
Thank you.
Yeah. But what is it that drew you towards medicine and wanting to become a doctor?
I think with me, medicine was never forced upon me. African parents, they're yeah, I'm gonna be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or something. But my mom never actually pushed medicine on me. It was just something that I came up with myself. So from very early on, I'd always loved science. So I'd never been good at art or anything creative. I couldn't draw at all, anything like that. My mom does sewing and stuff, so she's really good with her hands. Yeah. But with me, it was just always academics, science, chemistry, physics, biology, those three. I just loved it, and I was always good at it.
More than I can say for myself. Still don't know what I'm doing on the House Made platform, but I'm here because honestly, I hate science.
I was even in
I love
science
it.
club and stuff like that.
Sorry, what?
I was in science club.
Don't shh. Say that too loud. No, I'm joking.
I was actually a nerd. I loved
no, but that's
science
fine.
completely.
That's amazing because we need you. If you weren't nerdy, then you wouldn't like science. You'd become a doctor. You wouldn't be saving us. So really and truly, it makes sense.
Yeah. So literally, from that, I was okay, cool. So let me look at some professions in science, and obviously the main one that will come up is medicine. Yeah. So I was okay, cool. Let me do research on it basically and see what it's about. Maybe get some insight into it. Watch videos and stuff like that. So this is me in secondary school. I was quite young, just going on the internet and figuring out what is medicine and what does it entail. Yeah. And kind of learning more about it. I was okay, cool. I think this is something that I'd like to do. It has the science aspect. It has the working with people aspect, some leadership aspects to it. So I was okay, cool. I like this. Let me try and pursue this and see how it goes.
Okay, amazing. So for those of you that are just joining or you've been on, this is Theresa. We're going to be talking about her journey so far into medicine, into becoming a doctor. If you have any questions, please do type them in the chat. I know you guys are saying hello and I know you're excited to speak to Dr. Theresa. I'm going to call you that. Can I call you that? Is that okay? I mean, it's your Instagram name.
You can call me that.
So we're going to be talking to Theresa about her journey so far. And I think the main crux that we're going to get into is where you are at now and how you got there, or should we say how long it took you to get there.
It took a while. Yes. So most of you that know me, you'll know that I've been trying to do this medical school thing since I was 17. So my first application for medicine was when I was 17. So straight out of A-levels, I applied. I didn't get in. So that was my first. I didn't get into any of the unis I applied for medicine. That was my first rejection.
So let's start from the beginning. So you were in college. Yeah. At 17 years old, you're applying for university. Yeah. And you're applying for certain types of universities. Yeah. I'm guessing the top in the field of medicine. And you've now received these. I don't want to call them rejections, but we have to call them what they are.
They were rejections.
You've now received these rejections. How did that make you feel then at 17?
Yeah. So then it was really just it was deep disappointment. almost like my life is over. Like,
do you know why I asked you that
very
question?
Dramatic.
So the reason I asked you that question is I didn't study science or medicine or wanted to become a doctor, but the uni that I wanted to go to, I didn't get in, and I'd cry like a baby.
Yeah.
Looking back at it now, I'm glad I didn't go. But at the time, I can understand how it must have felt like deteriorate. Like you're just like you've done the work.
Exactly.
You know, you've put in the effort.
It was just disappointing. Like,
did you get feedback?
So, not really. Like, they don't really, when they would like give you rejection, even like acceptance, they don't really give you like any feedback. It's mainly, so it's one of two things. I think one of the emails I got, because it's not like actual letters anymore, was like your UCAT score wasn't like at the threshold we needed, which made sense because that was the first time I ever did my UCAT exam, and I didn't have people like House of Medics or like a Dr. Emma like guiding me through the sort of process. So it was literally just off my own back, or like what I had looked on the internet of how to like practice and prepare for it. So I didn't do great. So in that aspect, I kind of understood, okay, my UCAT score wasn't great, that's fine. But that was kind of their only reason. So basically, the rest of my application was quite strong. Just my
so
UCAT
the numbers
grade.
weren't up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bit.
Which was kind of annoying because like the rest of like my application was good.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the first rejection. So let's move on to the next time you applied.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
So after the first rejection, I actually met Dr. Emma, and we kind of just got to know each other. So I explained to her that, you know, I wanted to pursue medicine, but I got rejected. So instead I'm going to do, so what quite a lot of people do is when they don't get into medicine, so with UCAS, you can apply for 5 unis. Only 4 of those unis can be for medicine, like if you want to go for medicine. And the 5th has to be like another course. So people usually do like courses like biomedical science or radiology, like just something that's close to science, but like not exactly medicine. So I did biomedical science. I didn't know anything about it. Like I was just like, oh, let me just do biomedical science because it has the word medical in it. So it's close to medicine.
So you didn't know what biomedical
I hadn't done, like literally all that was in my head was medicine. Like there wasn't room for anything else.
Fair enough.
So my 5th one was just like, oh, like, because you know in my head I was like, oh, I'll get into one of my unis. Let me just put it there as like.
So you applied for 5. 4 were medicine.
Yeah.
1 was biomedical
One
science.
was biomedical
and
science.
All four rejected.
All 4 rejected me.
I'm not trying to make it sound like
no, like it is what it is. Like, they all rejected me, but the biomedical science uni gave me an unconditional offer. So I was basically like, whatever grade I got in my A levels, like they would let me in.
Oh. That's not what you wanted.
Pardon?
But it's not what you wanted.
It's not what, so like they were giving me so much, but it's not what I wanted. Like it's not the course I wanted. But I was like, okay, let me go, and then it will lead me into medicine basically. So I ended up going, and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah. Like I really enjoyed the course.
Oh, so you did do the course?
Yeah, I did do the course for 3 years. Yeah, for 3 years.
Oh.
But I ended up really enjoying it.
So what is biomedical science?
So it's basically
you've done 3 years now.
No, like it's basically like the back end stuff of medicine. So it's not any of like the clinical or like treating patients kind of side. It's more the diseases. And this is how the diseases come about. These are the symptoms. These are the drugs they use. This is the breakdown of what the drug is made of. This is the kind of physiological processes. Right. So in the most
layman terms, let's use our Rona friend as an example. So you would be someone that would look into that disease and find out maybe where it came from, where it's going, how it's developing. So that's the whole biomedical.
So what is the disease? What are the symptoms? What is used to treat it? What is that treatment made of? And then research kind of encompasses all of that kind of thing. Right.
I'm understanding. I still would never go there, but I'm understanding. So you've done 3 years now. So this is now 21.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've graduated.
Graduated. Okay. And this is the time where I know, like, I'm in communication with Dr. Emma. Like, we formed a relationship. So I've now got someone that is helping me. Whereas the first time, like, it was just me doing it.
So second time, what happened?
So second time around, I'm doing my application. Call up Dr. Emma. Like I call like every time I'm doing anything to do with application stuff, like it's always straight to Dr. Emma. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting my application now. I'm doing my personal thing.
Dr. Emma under the bus, but go on.
No, definitely not. Yeah, so messaging Dr. Emma, and we'll kind of like discuss, okay, I'm doing my personal statement. This is what I've done so far. She's like, okay, maybe like remove this. You don't really need that. You know, maybe, you know, this would be better. Like you've done a more recent work experience, include that instead of this old one. Just give me advice based on my personal statement. Okay. And might I add, every single year my personal statement has been strong. And that's like the main...
Just to let you know.
Yeah,
okay.
It's been strong. And that is like the main thing that Pastor Emma kind of goes through with me as well.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, that's, you know...
So it's not a you problem, it's a them problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
I hear it.
Because my personal statement has been, like, strong.
Okay.
Dr.
So then
Emma
what happened the second time?
So the second
even
time
though your
around...
personal statement was strong.
Even though the personal statement was strong. And the second time around, I did my UCAT as well. And it was much better than the first year that I did it as well. Like, this time I was at the threshold. I wasn't above it, but I had, like, just hit it. So
what happened?
Again, I applied. All 4 unis. I didn't do a 5th one this time because I'd already done my undergraduate degree.
Yeah.
All 4 unis came back. Reject.
Same
reject,
4?
Reject. Different unis. So I switched it up a little bit.
Okay.
Like 4 different unis. They were like, no. So I was
and
like,
still
okay.
no feedback.
Still no feedback. Like it's usually like just like generic responses. Like, you know, other people had stronger applications than you. Like it's always this it's always like, oh, we've had a lot of applications this year. Unfortunately, other applicants had a stronger application than you, and then like you're not really sure what that means. Like
I wanna believe that that's what they're saying, but maybe from what it sounded, because you said you were at the threshold, so maybe there were people that were above it and also had strong applications.
So I think
so
kind of
just took their
the UK CAT sort of test. And like for me, that was like the hardest part of the application anyway.
What did you call it?
The UK CAT.
UK CAT.
Yeah, I think it's called the UCAT now. They removed the K.
What is that?
It's,
I mean, for us folk that went to school a while ago.
Yeah, so it's basically one of the medical entrance exams, and it tests different things. So it tests comprehension, it tests your arithmetic, it tests your ability to kind of solve puzzles. Okay. So aka like problem solving. Okay. And it tests your ability to kind of extract important information from different. Test your ability to extract important information from large amount of text, data. Basically, and data. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right. So that's round 2.
Round 2 didn't go well.
So how did you feel then?
So
because this time the difference being you had help.
Yeah.
So I want to say you did definitely, you went up because you got onto the threshold rather than being below it. So there was clearly an improvement. And like you said, your personal statement was strong. Yeah. But again, you've been rejected. So
exactly. So at this point, again, like I'm always going to feel disappointed if I don't get in because I've put in a lot of work in terms of like the preparation. Even like throughout my 3 years at uni, like I would make sure each year I would get like enough work experience, enough volunteering, just so that my personal statement is strong, kind of thing. But then even with all that, like they didn't accept me. So I'm thinking like, what do you want from me? Like I'm doing everything. So there is that moment of like frustration where like you're really annoyed. But I think just the fact that I had like leaders, like mentors around me who, like if I didn't get in, I would tell Dr. Emma and I'll tell my other mentor as well. And I'll be like, sir, I've been rejected again. He'll be like, okay, that's fine. What's the next step? Yeah. So it's never like just wallowing in like my self-pity. It's always, okay, cool, you didn't get in this time. What can we do to make sure you do the next time? Like, what's the next step? So the next step in terms of this situation is always, okay, maybe let's try clearing, or let's do another course instead. And while you're doing that, you'll apply again. Okay. So that's what we ended up doing. I was advised to do a master's degree, and I wasn't really given the master's degree that I should take. They my mentor just kind of said, well, you're going to do a master's, like, let's go for a master's degree. Yeah. But, I chose the one that I wanted to do. Okay. And I chose a master of research. So like you were saying, biomedical science was completely research, like kind of thing. So my master's was a master of research in biomedical science. Okay. Again.
So it's funny because it's kind of like you've started somewhere, but your path has deviated slightly. However, it hasn't come off track. Yeah. It's just maybe you've just taken a different fork in the road. Exactly. So obviously you've now done your undergrad and you've passed, you've gone through, you've graduated. Yeah. You're now in your master's doing a similar to your undergrad. You've done that and I believe you passed and you finished. Yeah. Yeah. And that was how long? 1 year?
1 year.
1 year. So okay, we're now at try 3.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about that now.
Yeah, so try 3.
Because some people would say third time lucky, but...
Yeah, no. So, my third time, like, for me, like, in my heart of hearts, I thought this time was, like, it was it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was it. Because I was like, oh, like, it's been a while. Like, you know, this has to be, like, the time where it works. So, again, did my UCAT, did my personal, like, updated my personal statement and so on. Applied to my unis, again, like, different unis. I think more, like, outside London this time.
Yeah.
And same response. I didn't get into any of them.
Wow.
So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe like medicine isn't for me.
So at this point, you're thinking, is it me?
Yeah.
Am I the problem?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think at this point, like, there was more doubts than there were before. Like, the other times, okay, fine. The other times was more like, okay, cool, that's fine. Like, let's move on and like look forward to what's next kind of thing. But this time, it was a lot more like, there was a lot more of the feeling of maybe this isn't what I'm meant to do. Maybe I'm meant to do biomedical science. Because like I was saying, I actually really enjoyed the research side of it. Like, my whole master's was me doing like research kind of thing. And I really enjoyed it. So there was very much doubt, like a big doubt of, am I still meant to do medicine? Like, I've tried so many times and it hasn't worked. Like, how many times do you try before you finally just say, like, maybe this isn't meant to be? Yeah. So I think the only thing that kind of took me off that course was when I kind of spoke to my leader, and I said it to him, and he was like, no, like, you're gonna apply again. And I was like, am I?
So left to yourself,
you
would have, that was
probably
it for you.
not. Like, I would, like, I'm not 100% sure, but the thought was in my mind of, okay, maybe it's time to like let it go.
Yeah.
But I spoke to him, and he was literally like, yeah, you would, like, you're gonna apply again. Like, just because you haven't gotten in these like 3 times doesn't mean it isn't for you. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you try and failed. If it's for you, it's for you. And he was like, this thing, like, he knows that it's for me. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep trying. And he was like, it will happen when it's meant to happen, basically, not when you want it to happen. Okay. Because all those other times, like, me like forcing it to happen. And he was like, no, it's not. It's gonna happen at the time where like you kind of don't really care that much anymore.
Fair enough.
Like, when you're
I have heard,
desperate for
I've heard that before. So kind of 2 questions. So the first question being, so this is the 3rd time now. What did you do next? Because I know obviously you do a undergrad, you do a master's. Yeah. What did you do in the space that you were now? Because obviously you're been told that you're gonna apply again. Yeah. So what was you doing in that time that you wanted to apply? Because obviously I'm sure that's another year. Yeah. So
in that time, I honestly had no idea what I was gonna do. But again, having leaders is so important. I was given something to do, so I didn't have to kind of like scramble around and find something to do. Yeah. Immediately, I was put into employment. So I've been working throughout this gap year. Okay. And in particular, this type of employment is like very high pace. Like, you know, there's a lot happening at once. Like, you have to think on your feet. You have to have leadership skills. So even just having this gap year of being employed and working in that sort of environment, it's already prepared me for the sort of thing I'm going to experience in medical school. And I think one thing I say to a lot of like the younger girls that want to do medicine or go into healthcare is, no matter, and even something that Dr. Emma has said to me previously, like, no matter what work experience you do, always extract something from it that you can apply to like medical school, that you can take to medical school. So even if it's like you're a receptionist, like, there's something there that will help you in the future, like for medical school, something that you can put in your personal statement.
Cool, amazing. Okay, so we've had 3 times, 3 tries.
Yes.
And your mentor has said, yeah, but we go again.
We're doing it again.
Yes. You've now gone into work. But you're still pushing. You've done your personal statement one more time. Yeah. And you are now reapplying for the 4th time. Before you sent the application, what was going through your head?
Like, to be honest, I think at this point, I cared about it less. Okay. So there wasn't really anything going through my head. Like, the other times I was like really, really desperate for it. Like, oh my God, like, please, this has to happen. But this time when I like did my UK CAT, did the application, it was more of a like, if it happens, it happens. Yeah, like, it is what it is. Like, let's see what happens kind of feeling. And like my leader said, like, that's the time where it's really going to happen for you, because you're not desperate for it anymore. Like, it's not your entire life anymore to be a doctor. Yeah. But yeah.
But it worked out, right?
And it worked out. I did get in the 4th time. You know, yeah.
Let's go. Yay!
Thank you.
She kept pushing, she kept going, and you are now going to medical school?
Yeah, in September I'm starting. Yeah.
At what university?
At Keele University in Staffordshire.
Oh.
Very far away.
That's far.
Very far.
I don't know where that is, but I heard Shire.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so in terms of like medicine and kind of where is that in the university, where is that in the rankings of medicine? Is it up there?
So I'm not sure about the uni itself, because I don't really look at that. I look mainly at like how high the course is in the uni. Yeah. And in the UK, I believe medicine at Keele is like 4th, I think, on the rankings.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty good.
Okay, so we're going to medical school. Yes. How do you feel now? Because one thing I want to like emphasize is that even though you knew what you wanted to do, it doesn't mean that you were meant to do it at 17.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 18.
Yeah.
And one thing I remember hearing from a previous conversation is you can get burnout really quickly, really early if you don't have the experience of, I want to say, life. So now you've done 3 years of university. You've done 1 year of your master's. Sorry, 3 years undergrad, 1 year master's, 1 year working. How are you now going into this course? Because it's a completely different thing to when you were 18 or 17.
I think going in, like, I'm actually just like calm. Like, it's actually calm. Like, that's the way I can explain it.
Let's compare it to how you was then. If you, let's say you got in then.
If I went in then, oh my God, anxiety. Like, because I remember myself, the person I was like when I was 17 is completely like not me now. Like, I was very shy, like very, like, I'm sure like those that met me before. Like, you remember? Yeah, I was very shy, like I was so anxious, like such an anxious person. I don't think I would have been able to complete like the whole 5 years if I actually went in after A levels. But I think now, like, I'm a lot stronger, like just mentally, like going through that longer process, gaining more experience, like learning how to even like speak, like public speaking, as like speak to people, etc., and things like that. Being able to work in a sort of high tension, like fast paced environment. Just little things like that I've learned throughout my journey has just made me more prepared for medicine, in that I'm now going in and I don't feel anxious at all. Like, you know, it's calm.
So you said 5 years. Five.
5 years.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a long time.
It is a long time, but
I mean, you've already done 4.
Yeah.
Done 5.
Yeah.
And then after the 5 years, what happens after that? Because I know, like getting into medicine, becoming a doctor can be quite I don't want to use the word tedious, but like it's a long time, obviously, because you're caring for people primarily. Yeah. So after the 5 years, what then? What is next? So after the 5 years, I'll still go through like some training. So I won't like completely be like a qualified. Yes, I'll be like a junior doctor. And I think if I want to do surgery as well, there's a couple of extra years. So the 5 years is kind of like just the foundation,
a baseline,
introduction.
Yeah, it's more like a baseline. But I don't really mind how many years it is, because I mean it's what I've been working towards.
Want, exactly. So it's what you want and what you need to do. And if you want to do it right, you do have to put the work in. So I want to kind of hone back on, you know, how important it is to have mentorship in such an area and such a space. I think in whatever field you're in, mentorship is key and is important. So let's talk about the fact that you've now come in and connected with the House of Medics and you've now met Dr. Emma. Yeah. What did that do for you mentally to prepare you for the 2 rejections after the first one, and then now getting into university? I think it's important to mention Dr. Abe as well, because he has really helped me too. I mean, they're 2 in the same. Both of them together. Like, they helped me like with my mock interviews and stuff like that. So, but just because Dr. Emma was like the first one that I met, I think with every rejection, I always had someone to kind of bounce ideas off in terms of what am I going to do next. It was never me kind of making the decision by myself. Yeah. Which would have probably been like a wrong decision, because I wanted to quit at one point. Fair enough. So I always would always just go to her and be like, okay, cool, like what do you think we should do next? Like, what sort of avenue should we take? Even with like my master's degree,
I kind of gave her the options of what I was interested in, and she was okay, maybe go for this one and this one. So I think having a mentor is just it's very important to have some sort of guidance of someone that has already kind of been through life and been through that process and kind of made their own mistakes. So you will make your own mistakes, but you won't make the same mistakes they made.
Yeah, because they won't be as big.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think
I just want to kind of come back to the audience. I know you guys have been amazing sending your love hearts and your claps and all of that stuff, but send me some questions to ask our junior soon-to-be doctor here. But I've called her a doctor already because she is a doctor, because you are. Yes. Yeah. So send us some of your questions so that we can find out a little bit more about what she does and who she is. So I know you said that you're not a creative. You've touched on the fact that your family's quite creative, into fashion, into design and things like that. Growing up, how did that make you feel? Because again, you're the youngest, or you're one of the youngest. You're, in your family, you've got quite a big family, and they're all quite creative. How did that make you? How did it stop you from isolating yourself? Because I know that can be quite daunting to be like, oh, I'm the only one that's not like the rest of my family. But how did you maintain focus? I want to say.
I think with my family it was quite the opposite. Like it didn't really matter. Like we're quite a close, like knit family, regardless of what each of us do. So even though I wasn't a creative, like I still enjoy. Like I'm a consumer of like creation. Exactly. So I love going to like galleries and I love music and stuff like that. So even though I can't produce it myself, like I can always like appreciate it, and kind of like one thing I do with like my sister, like Bethany and Margaret, is like we love going to like galleries and museums and stuff like that. So even though like I'm not creative like them, I can still enjoy it with them, kind of thing.
That's amazing. So what advice would you give to somebody in that situation? So they're feeling like maybe they're the only one doing what they're doing. Yeah. How would you kind of advise them to stay focused?
I think I would tell them that if it's something that you're very passionate about, something, and I always say do your research. So there's no point in wanting to do something but you don't know anything about it. Like you've just seen it on TV, or like your mum is putting it onto you. I think the most important thing is to do your research, and then once you know that that thing is for you, just stick to it. Like no matter what everyone else is doing around you, because I mean a lot of my friends at uni, they don't even do healthcare anymore. Like they're in finance or like tech.
So they just went left.
Yeah, like they just went completely left, and like,
which is fair.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fair. Like it's not a bad thing, but it can also like influence you to think, okay, maybe healthcare isn't for me. But I think if you're the sort of person who has done your research into what you want to do, and like you're well informed in that job or university course or whatever, and you're sure that it's for you, then just stick to it regardless of what else is happening around you. Like have a laser focus on that thing. Don't look into your peripheral and see, oh, this person's doing that, or my sister's doing this. Like just focus on exactly what you're doing and how you're going to get there. And again, seek leadership as well, because that's the main thing that keeps me focused. Because without that, like I'll just be like doing everything. Like, oh, this looks fun. Let me try this. Let me do that. But just having leadership, it just keeps you like on one focus, like going forward.
Yeah, amazing. So a question, do you think without your mentorship, which I think you've touched on just now, do you think without your mentorship you still would have kept going?
I think it's likely that I wouldn't have, especially after that third time. Like I said, the doubts were a lot more than when I was younger. Because I feel like as you get older, you're kind of like, oh, like I'm running out of time. Yeah. Kind of thing. Maybe I should do something else. Yeah. But yeah, I think like there is the possibility that if I wasn't under sort of mentorship and leadership and just doing this thing by myself, that like there's a big possibility that I would have given up after my master's degree and just gone further into research, because it's something that I enjoyed. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just do that instead.
Okay, fair enough. Keep the questions coming. So we're gonna kind of touch on a bit of more just about you, like what outside of studying, and I know we're on the platform House of Medics, but what do you enjoy? I know you said you like going to galleries and doing things with your siblings and things like that, but kind of who is Theresa? Who is Theresa? Like what has, like you said, from the age you was when you first started this journey of medicine to where you are now, you've changed a lot. So how would you describe yourself now? Like what do you enjoy?
I I think one thing I've heard people saying about me is that I like soft life. I don't agree. You know, I feel like I'm like a tough worker, like a hard worker. But like, I
can enjoy soft life. You work hard to then get to the soft life.
True, but I'm starting to think it might be true. Like, I really love.
I mean, if more than two people said it, then it's
it's been more than two people for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I really just love like. I'm actually a homebody, but I love going out to I'm such a like, trust me, I'm such a homebody. Like I can be in my room for days and be happy.
Okay.
But I love going to like little like cafes and like galleries. I think just spending like time with like small groups of people, not like big events. But I think that's one.
Someone said you're lying.
Don't ignore Manuel. I don't even know who that is. I think we should block her.
Remove from the comments?
We should block her.
So question, how do you think you've prepared for medical school? Is it intense?
Isn't it intense?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely intense. And I think there isn't like one preparation that I've done. I think my whole entire like journey has been preparation. Yeah, like literally everything has been preparation. So even the work experience that I got in my undergrad, the sort of high intense job role that I'm currently in, all of that like has prepared me for medical school. I don't think there can be like, I don't think you can like read a book and be prepared for medical school or like watch a YouTube video. I think it has to be sort of like something like life experiences that you've gone through. So even like the interviews, they'll ask you, give me an example of a time when you've dealt with a difficult situation or stuff. So they're always looking for life experiences because that's the only way you can really like learn how to be a good.
So they ask those questions in medical school as well. Yeah. I've had to deal with some really hard situations. I feel like I could.
Yeah, I think anybody in House of
without all the right
questions. Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, everyone's been in difficult situations, but then some people just won't know how to talk about it like in a way that they want.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, cool. They're still calling you soft life babe, but we're gonna move on from that.
I'll accept it.
The thing is, you brought it up. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, so
I think I'm starting to believe it. That's why, like,
for those of you that don't know what soft life, who soft life, or where soft life is, just type it in socials. And you'll see a lot of people living the soft life. I personally believe she's a soft life babe, but from what I've seen, she enjoys herself. So even to know that she's going to medical school, she's gonna do soft life in medical school, aren't you?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay, another question. What are you most looking forward to in med school?
Okay, I think what I'm most looking forward to is being able to have any sort of interaction with patients.
Okay.
Because my entire university degree has literally just been in the lab and lectures. So there's literally like, obviously like one of the big parts of like medicine is like being able to interact with patients and speak to them. And that's one thing that I've never like had the opportunity to do throughout my whole university career.
Fair
so
enough.
I think that's one thing that I'm really excited about. I kind of want to see like, what sort of like a doctor I'm going to be. Like, am I going to be funny? Like, am I going to be serious? You know? So I'm kind of excited in that aspect because I've never really had the chance to have that sort of interaction. I've observed it, but I've never been able to do it myself. Yeah. So I think that would be really interesting for me.
I always kind of put myself in a situation, like whenever I go to things, and I'm always like, I always put myself in the other shoe. Yeah. So as a like patient, how I'm speaking to the doctor and how the doctor might be feeling, I just put myself in their shoes. Yeah. And I find it quite fun to play doctor because I'm not and I will never be. But it's fun. I could play a doctor on TV maybe, but I feel like there are some doctors who really, really enjoy their job. So I really pray that that's you because the others... Anyway, so we're going to move on. 6 years of medical school. I think it's 5, but it will be more should you choose a different kind of other aspects of medicine. But does that scare you?
It really doesn't. And I think every time I mentioned the 5 years, like I told Margaret, I was like, I'm doing 5 years now. She was like, 5 years. And I was like, this is how I know you don't listen to me. Because I've been saying this it's always been, like it hasn't increased.
No, but I feel like because you've done the uni, because you've done the 3 years, you've done the 1 year, it might reduce.
Yeah. Look, it's a new 5 years. So it's a new 5 years that I'm doing. But it doesn't scare me. I think I'm just excited to do it. I'm ready to get into it because it's what I've been working for this whole time. So I just want to get stuck in.
Amazing. Okay, so where does your passion for medicine come from? I think that's a really, really
it is
loaded question.
Yeah, I think that's hard. It's hard to answer. Yeah, and I think I've said it so many times, but literally just just, I think it's more so what I've observed. So I think before I did my work experience, in like different departments in the hospital and with the surgeon, most of what I knew about medicine was just from Google, like what I've looked at on the internet and things like that. But when I actually got to go in and see what it was like, so kind of see the day-to-day of a surgeon, see how she interacted with patients, see how she interacted with her colleagues, working as part of a team, I think that's the first time I was actually passionate about it. Okay. Because I just really enjoyed, like I wanted to kind of embody her life. Like I wanted to do what she was doing, which is kind of like why I'm interested in like surgery now. Because I just found what she was doing so inspiring and so interesting. So I think before I did any of my work experience, it was more of like an interest, like, okay, I think this might suit me. But once I actually got to observe exactly what it would be, well, not exactly what it would be like, but close to what it would be like, that's when the passion came.
Are there a lot of female surgeons?
There aren't, actually.
It's a really random thought I just had.
It's quite a male-dominated field.
Because when you watch a lot of, because I watch a lot of like American shows, and a lot of the male doctors are the leading surgeons.
Yeah, so it's very male-dominated. I think because it requires like a lot of your time. So like if you want to like start a family and have kids, it might be quite difficult to kind of juggle both.
Fair enough. Okay. So how have you kept your passion for medicine throughout the years of studying?
Again, I feel like I keep saying the same answer, but the work experience. So like I've made sure like every single year, I'll always do some sort of volunteering or work experience, just something to kind of keep me well informed still, and also kind of like keep that passion up so I don't forget about why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah. So I think that's something that has kind of kept my passion going. And then also just the leaders that I have as well, like they all call me like the doctor, like the medical student. Even before I started medicine, like that's what they would call me. So in my head already, it's like, okay, this is gonna happen. Like that's my persona. Like this is for me. It will just happen when it's meant to happen, kind of thing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So a lot of questions.
No, now they're coming through, right? Someone said the opportunity to diagnose properly instead of your friends, me, over WhatsApp.
Yeah, literally, they always mess me. Oh, like my eye is swollen. I'm like, can you go to Dr. Emma?
The thing is, there's been times when I'm thinking about something and I said, should I message Dr. Emma? I don't want to be that guy, but sometimes you just need a quick answer and then your doctor's telling you 2 weeks for an appointment. It's like, I don't have 2 weeks, I want to know now.
I don't want to tell them the wrong thing.
Yeah, definitely. Another question, have you already got your eyes on what you want to specialise in? I think you
so surgery, purely because I was able to observe, I was able to shadow the surgeon at St. George's, and I like what she was doing was just so interesting to me.
Do you know how wild that is to me? Because surgery is not easy to stomach. So if the fact that you were able to shadow and then still be in love,
I found it so interesting.
It's for you.
I found it so interesting because even with that, like I'm obsessed with like anatomy and stuff like that. Like in my undergrad, I did a summer dissection program where I got to dissect an entire human body. And I came back the next year to teach other students how to do it. So like stuff like that,
Wait, a dead body?
Yeah.
Okay.
A cadaver. So
I just picture the whole. Yeah. Okay. So you. Okay.
Yeah. So it was weird, but like I really enjoyed. Like I thought it was just a lot of fun. So I think like that combined with like the work experience that I had.
Yeah. You're a surgeon still. She said, I enjoyed dissecting a human body. No!
You have to try it. Like, when you do it, like, you'll realize how fun it is.
All right, cool. We're going to move on. What was your most memorable experience while you were studying biomedical science?
Let me think. I think my most memorable experience was probably the one I just spoke about now. the dissection, because I don't
even know how we got there, but now I can't get the image out of my head.
Because like I mentioned before, the uni that I went to was in a hospital.
Okay.
So purely because of where it was based, I was able to get a lot of work experience that other students like elsewhere wouldn't have been able to get. So something like doing a human, like a full body dissection, you really wouldn't be able to get
I don't
that
want to
at
ask
any
this,
of
but I
the
want to
uni.
ask this.
Yeah.
What is involved in a full body dissect? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so you're basically...
I don't want to know, but I need to know.
You're basically like dissecting the body so that it can be used for educational purposes. So when we have our anatomy lessons at university, we're given like human cadavers, and it's like those are pre-dissected, so you can see the heart, you can see like the stomach, like everything is like kind of opened up for us, so we can learn anatomy straight from the human body.
Right.
So what we did in summer dissection is prepare those bodies for the next like cohort of students coming in to learn
And then
anatomy. And then I taught it the next
So
year.
you're now a teacher
Yeah.
of the anatomy, dissecting bodies. Oh my God, it's so interesting. No, I'm actually very much intrigued. I'm that person that I will see something on TV, it's gross, but I'm still watching. That's me.
Yeah.
I like it. I would never go near it, but I like watching it. We'll just move on. Next question. Do you have any tips for people that want to start studying biomedical science? I mean, can we just, she's not a biomedical scientist. She studied it. That's not her passion, but you did study it. So what advice?
So I think one tip I would give is to always read around the subject.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of like a tip for like every like course, to be honest, like read around your subject. But specifically because biomedical science is research based, when like exam season comes around, if you've like read around your subject and found like a research article that is connected to that question, and you're able to kind of incorporate it into your answer, like they'll love it. Like they'll think you're so smart and like really extra. So I think always like read around whatever you're learning. Maybe try and find like an extract from an article or something, and just like kind of have that in your head with you, so you can incorporate it into like any like essay you do or like any like exam you have.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good tip. So many doctors get deployed during. Many doctors got deployed during the COVID outbreak. Are you ready to face these kinds of situations?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to as well.
Okay.
Because I actually really wanted to get more involved like during COVID and stuff, but I was still doing my masters at the time. Okay. So I didn't really want to like do any sort of like work or anything at the same time. But yeah, like that, like everything like that is just exciting. Even though like it's terrible, like people died, like it's really bad. But
for you do you have the passion to want to help people?
Exactly. To be able to help them, like, that would be really exciting for me and be involved in that. Amazing.
So your friends are not your friends, because she just said you carried around human juice.
Human juice. She's so rude. Basically,
let's talk about that. So human juice. What's human juice?
I didn't. Anyway, basically, when I was dissecting one of the bodies, I was like removing. So we removed the fat so that everything is exposed, so you can see everything clearly. And one time the fat flicked into my eye.
Good. Okay.
So I feel like that's what she's referring to, like
the juice flicked in your eye.
Yeah, like sometimes the body juice would like seep through.
And you weren't wearing
through my
goggles or
no, like we'd wear our lab coat. Sometimes like it would seep through the lab coat like onto like my jeans or something like that, and I would just smell like it until I get home. It was fun.
So I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that last bit. Yeah, no. We're going to move on. So you already studied for 4 years. How will you keep yourself going through yet another 5 years of study? That's a very good question.
I feel like that's quite a hard question to ask, to answer. How will I keep myself going?
Not fat in the eye. Sorry.
That's 9 years in total. Like that's actually like crazy.
Yeah.
How will I keep myself going through yet another 5 years of studying? I mean, I may take this back later, but I feel like right now for me, it's not going to be hard. Yeah. I may take this back later. I'll say that again. But right now it isn't hard because
to be
this
fair,
is what I've been waiting for.
It is what you've been wanting to do, and it is a different course.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're doing 5 more years of what you've been doing. So it is something a bit different.
Yeah.
So that might help.
Yeah. And then also with this course, it isn't 5 years of lectures. Yeah. Like, so there will be like placement years and there will be variety within the years as well. So I think that would also help. But then again, like, it is what I've been waiting to do all these years. So I don't think I would struggle much with that. But then again, I said
things could change.
Things could change, but yeah.
Yeah, so the comments came in late for the juice in the eyes, so everyone's still reacting to that. It's the fact that you said you enjoyed it.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is, but it's really fun. Like, it's really fun.
So, on that note, someone's got to do it. At the end of the day, it could never be me. And I'm very, very much happy with that. So we have more Theresas out there that love to do all the gooey, yucky stuff, and us, we just watch it on TV. And I'm very happy with that. Yeah, Loretta, amen. Because
my mum.
Oh, is that Mummy Boyle? Oh, hi, Mum. Okay, so we've got another question. Funny. Do you have any tips for students looking for work experience?
Yes, so I think one of the things that I did when I was, so number one, the best thing to do is use your connection. So if you know anyone that's a doctor, nurse, whatever, they're your best connection. And if you don't, House of Medics is here. We have so many doctors, so many nurses, so many pharmacists. Reach out to them, DM them on their Instagram page, you know, like, don't be shy. I think the worst thing to do when you look for work experience is thinking, oh my God, I don't want to like disturb them, or like, I don't want to get rejected kind of thing. Like, no, like, DM House of Medics and say, I'm looking for work experience in this field. I need help. I don't know anybody that is in this field. Like, can you help me find work experience? It's as easy as that. Because one thing I had to do, because I was even going to suggest this, but you don't even need to do it because you have House of Medics.
Yeah.
What I had to do is I literally went on different hospital pages, got employee emails, and just sent out mass emails.
Go for it.
Like, but that's so long.
It is long. It is.
And
but
now,
it is a way to do it.
Exactly.
Now there is a House of Medics.
Now there's a House of Medics. Just send them a DM. They have all these different people under the House of Medics that can help you. So I think that is like the main tip I would give in terms of looking for work experience. Just DM House of Medics. Somebody will respond to you and connect you with someone within your field.
Amazing, amazing. So I think we're going to round it up there. I think it's been an amazing conversation. It kind of went where I didn't expect it to go. Yeah, fat, juice, you know, all of that stuff. Dissection of dead body. Yeah, I'm going to sleep well tonight. So yeah, it's been an amazing conversation. I'm very, very proud that you are going off to do what you want to do. So well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You know, you've got the House of Medics behind you. You've got me behind you. I'm part of the House of Medics. I have to keep saying it. Dr. Emma would keep saying to me, oh, like, why do you keep saying? Because I have to let everybody know that I'm not a doctor, but I'm here. I'm part of this move. So yes, well done again. Let us know where we can find you, where we can follow your journey. Yep. One thing that I'm gonna ask you to do, and you have to do this just for me. I don't care about anybody else, but for me, is you have to document what you're doing.
Definitely.
You have to put stuff on your story, because I really love watching Dr. Emma's stories because she talks about stuff that I know nothing about, but it's so interesting. So you need to do that too.
No,
so
definitely.
when you're studying, when you're doing what you need to do, make sure, even if you just at me, just in one of them, so I can make sure I'm looking. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But let us know where to find you, and
so
where
you can
follow your
find
journey.
me on Instagram at Theresa with a H_Boyo, and like Ganyat said, I'm gonna be posting on my story once I get into medical school, because I did before when I was doing my lab stuff.
Yes.
So I'll be doing the same thing while I'm at medical school.
Amazing, amazing. So we're going to follow her journey. We're going to support her on that. We're going to support the House of Medics and continue to help them to help people like Theresa, because we need more doctors. We need more people with a passion for what they do. I think it's very important to have that passion, because that's what actually drives you to help people, even when they're being the most horrible versions of themselves. You know, I know that in the medical field, a lot of people who go in to see doctors think that their sickness is the absolute worst it can be. But we are looking forward to your journey. I feel like these 5 years are going to fly by. You're going to come back and you're going to be in your coat with your badge and your stethoscope, and it's going to be amazing. But it's been an amazing conversation, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for your questions and for your support. Continue to support Dr. Boyle. Is it surnames they use, or is it first names?
I think first names, because we have like Dr. Emma, so I'm assuming.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. So we're going to start again. So we're going to follow Dr. Theresa on her journey to becoming that doctor. She already is the doctor, but, you know, she's going to become qualified. And we're going to, you know, support her in that. As always, I want you guys to continue to follow, support, share, like, subscribe to this page, this platform that has allowed me to kind of learn so much. I'm very much, I like to do my research, but I do it in the wrong way. I Google a lot of things, so it's good to actually speak to people that know what they're talking about. So continue to share this platform. If you are not in the medical field whatsoever, still please do share this platform because there's a lot that you can learn. So when I talk about this platform, I'm talking about We Are House of Medics. The website, is houseofmedics.org. Instagram is We Are House of Medics. Twitter, House of Medics. TikTok, We Are House of Medics. LinkedIn, House of Medics. And to join the Telegram chat, oh, this is a new one. Oh, to join our Telegram chat, find our code on our Instagram social platform. So again, the Instagram is We Are House of Medics. So if there's nothing else from me. Is there anything else from you? Any final words? No, I guess that's it. I'm going to try and be back. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's hard. I do try and come on as often as possible. And I will be back very, very soon. I can't tell you when, but I will be back very, very soon. So keep tuned. Next episode we'll be back with Tanisha, our lovely other host of House of Medics. But yeah, it's bye from me.
Bye.
See you later.